We are live.
Yes.
Okay, so 48.2 overs, 230 Nepal have been bowled out for, and considering in 10.3 overs,
Well, they lost 50, scored 52 runs.
52 runs. That is quite good if you look at it. 10.3.
I mean, considering this is the same Nepal that got bundled out for 104 against
Pakistan. And that were in even more placid conditions in Multan.
right?
Sompal Kami take over, what a knock he played in the circumstances.
Load.
48 runs. Very unlucky to have missed out on a 50. Good catch by Ishan Kishan though. But I thought the Indian team, after the rain break, they decided to commit a lot of harakiri. So many fielding mistakes.
After the rain break?
That was there. That was already there, but it went up a notch.
I think it was a case of, adding salt to the wounds.
Salt to the
Their
wound.
own wounds. Very good.
Yep, 230.
Salting your own wounds.
See, it's going to be a pretty tricky chase. I will say that at least, because you're not going to chase it down in 30 or 40 overs. I'm sorry.
No, this is not England we're talking about.
Yeah, this is in England. And
Perhaps on the flattest conditions as well. To be just going there with a gung-ho approach and, just slam bang cricket, put the opposition under pressure, get about 100 runs, 110 maybe in the first 20. It's not going to be that straightforward, let's be honest. Unless, of course, the bowling from Bangladesh is extremely tepid and extremely
Nepal, you mean?
From Nepal, extremely under par. But otherwise, this match does definitely seem to be, or this chase definitely does seem to be the one that will go, let's say, about 35 odd overs at least.
So
You're
much
being
so
very
for
generous.
At least.
40 minimum.
so much so for saying 148, 190. You said 179.
168.
69.
Yeah.
And one.
You also said
Well-
190.
Yeah, only 40 runs off.
Oh, 40 runs off. Yeah, exactly. So 40 runs off at 230 for 10. But then look at that partnership that the likes of Deependra Singh Airi and Sompal Kami had. I mean, when they were 144 for 6 to come down to 230, I think it's a remarkable effort from Nepal's tail.
Yeah, in fact, Deependra Singh Airi's knock will kind of fly under the radar because obviously Sompal got that 48.
Yep.
But Deependra was playing with some good intent.
Strike rate.
I think his strike rate was over 100 when he was this
135 if I'm not wrong.
No, 116.
116, yeah. But then
No, at one point he was at 135.
Oh, quite, yeah.
He was,
Yeah.
I mean, I think he was 25 of 17, and then at that time, Deependra Singh Airi was 25 of 17, but then I think he slowed down as the rain came, and then when he came back, he lacked rhythm. But Sompal Kami, I mean, don't be surprised with the knocks that he plays here, because regularly, if you look at it, he has done it in the past for Nepal. I can't recollect which game he did it for, but I think one of the games was against the UAE, if I'm not mistaken. And the worst part was, I mean, yet again, India's bowlers failed to hit the right lengths. It was too short.
And that age-old problem of not being able to mop up a tail.
Yep. It happened in test matches in the Sena countries on a regular basis. Now, at this particular point in time, you're seeing them unable to bowl the tail out. So, 144 for 6. The lower order, number 7 to number 11, have added 86 runs. And that represents a remarkable fight back. I mean, if you look at it, 17 overs, 16.2 overs, 16.3 overs, 86 runs, over 5. The lower order we are talking about in this particular case.
And of an associate nation, I may add.
Yes, an associate nation on the brink of losing their ODI status 5 years back. But now, it's going to put the Indian team under pressure. Let us not make any mistake about it. They will be under pressure because it's 231. And it's a tricky total.
They'll probably not look at it as a very easy chase, and they know perhaps, because it's bowled in this pitch, they know that it's not the easiest pitch to bat on. It's a little sluggish, and now one would believe with that rain intervention as well, interruption, it would perhaps be a little damp as well. But I think the advantage that Team India still have is, despite the conditions and the pitch, I think the advantage that they have is that they know they have a huge psychological advantage, and they're coming in with a massive reputation without having much reason to worry about as far as the opposition is concerned, and that could play a big factor when the two teams come out after the break.
Yeah, but again, there are more.
See, the pressure could still be on Nepal, Because they know they still have to bowl to the likes of a Rohit, to the likes of a Kohli, to the likes of a Gill, and these are players that they not only idolize but they know how good these players are. Bangladesh, for I don't know for what reason I am saying Bangladesh again and again.
Wrong neighbor.
Again and again, yeah, the wrong neighbor. But perhaps I want that India-Bangladesh game to happen soon. But having said that, Nepal would still feel that they may know somewhere that they've done a decent job in terms of defying the odds, in terms of defying what was predicted, of it being a one-way traffic of sorts. But still, they would know that even though they've done a decent job, it's still not going to be good enough against India.
I don't think they are looking to win this match.
Yeah.
If I'm honest, Nepal, I don't think they knew they were out the second that draw was made. India, Pakistan in the same group, forget it. But they've acquitted themselves very well. And in fact, I disagree with your point about them being under pressure. I think they're going to bowl very freely.
They have nothing to lose.
Exactly.
No, I think I don't agree with that point that they knew that they were going to be out. I mean, see, the mindset of the minnow teams in this last 3-4 years has changed. I mean, look at the last T20 World Cup, the World Cup qualifiers, even the recent bilateral series you look at, the likes of Scotland, the likes of Netherlands, UAE.
Zimbabwe.
Not Zimbabwe, I mean Zimbabwe are a full-fledged nation.
Minnow, no, they're a member nation.
They are a member nation. But then all these other nations, I mean, which were the most wonderful moments in that T20 World Cup? In the qualifier, Netherlands chasing down 374 against the West Indies. Then if you look at the T20 World Cup, Namibia beating Sri Lanka.
Even last year in the qualifiers.
That's what I'm putting. Namibia, Sri Lanka, Namibia beating them in the T20 World Cup qualifier.
Netherlands beating South Africa.
South Africa. Scotland beating West Indies not once but twice. UAE thrashing New Zealand. I'm sorry, that wasn't a beating, it was a thrashing that they got.
T20,
Yes. So every associate nation at this point in time, they know that we are not going to get many opportunities to showcase our skill. If you want to showcase it, let us put out a shocker. Let us shock the world.
That applies more for T20 cricket. In my opinion, I think for longer formats, the longer it gets, the more then it becomes a matter of skill rather than just fearlessness. So
I think Netherlands and Scotland might disagree with you because they got it both.
Yeah, Netherlands true, but Netherlands have been probably one of the best associate nations over a number of years now.
Yeah.
How many World Cups have they played in at this point? A lot.
Okay, see, 2009, they played
They played in 2003 ODI World Cup also, yeah? Netherlands.
3, 11, and they're coming back after 12 years. So they played in 3. Nepal have just played 1 T20 World Cup. That's it. That was 2014. Ireland have been the best amongst the rest because they featured consistently until 2015. After that, they have not been because the ICC decided that, let us make an elite sport even more elite with just 10 nations.
That's right. See, but still, I would like to see an expanded World Cup, but more for T20s. I think ODIs might still be a step too far for a lot of these nations. For now.
So
but of course, if what happens, say, let's say the England-Australia method of playing ODIs becomes popular, you never know. Then if you're taking a slam bang approach for 50 overs, it's very much anyone's game.
See, what I would want is, cricket being played.
I think, for the nations, let's say, that are not full member nations as of now,
ODIs
it will be difficult
for
them to sustain 50 overs of quality bowling and, perhaps look at posting the kind of targets. This is still an assortment. It's not a team right now, what we're seeing. It's an assortment.
It's just one player less, 2 players less.
One player again, but, this is your core again is playing after a long time and this was going to be, yes, you expected it to be a clinical performance, but clearly not just bowling, but in the fielding department as well. You're very rusty. Again, and I'd like to believe that this wasn't India's best performance. It was very ordinary to say the least. Are you going to say that India are going to perform this way going forward or this is their standard? No, it's an off day for them. We know that. You just expect the batters to go ahead and make it look a little pretty for them now.
Bad half an hour.
I am again telling you, I think by this assessment, see, we are not discounting this as a one-off. Look at the trend now. I think this will persist till November. Because I'll tell you why. It is
You're ruling out India for the World Cup.
I mean, I put them as one of my semi-finals.
But nothing beyond that, maybe.
Nothing beyond that.
But even then you're putting them ahead of, let's say, even a New Zealand, South Africa at the moment, I'd like to believe, because
why not?
England, Australia and Pakistan definitely make the other three.
Yeah.
So you're saying India, even this India is ahead of South Africa?
No,
New Zealand?
No, I mean, see, the problem is, look, you've got home conditions. Now, you look at ODI World Cups, maybe that trend has changed. Every home nation has done well since 2011. Okay.
True.
India started that trend.
India started the trend. It might very well end with them only, but then it might. I mean, see, a streak has to end, and a World Cup is not something that is given on a platter. Nations fight hard for it. Every nation wants to win a World Cup.
I mean, let's be fair. Even
Well, that streak almost got broken in 2019 also, if it wasn't, let's say, for
again, it goes back to his counterpoint that even England had to sweat.
Yeah.
They didn't really have it that easy. They lost to Australia in the group
stages. They lost to Pakistan in the group stages.
Oh yeah, who can forget that?
In Trent Bridge.
Yeah, Babar Azam was on fire that day.
Yeah, and despite Root and Butler, two of your good white ball players scoring centuries, they still lost.
Exactly. That's the thing.
And they were pushed to the limit, you may say. Okay, India represented a very attritional challenge for them.
I mean, no, their openers really made light work.
10 overs, 26 in the chase of 340, not happening. So
No, I'm saying not there. I mean, the England openers. They destroyed your
the
two
Kulchar
best winners.
duo. Yep. So that is the situation at this point. So look, if India don't bat well and they lose this, then you can sharpen your.
No, I don't think they lose this, but I could totally, and maybe this is just my pessimistic side, see it go long.
It will go long. I mean, there is no doubt about it.
Which is just as bad as,
No,
losing
I don't
the game.
mind. See, supposing if you puff your way, suppose you reach 231 for 8, then boss, I am very sorry.
That's a bad sign.
It's not a bad sign. It's a disastrous sign. You can forget about winning anything noteworthy in the next 2 years. Forget it. Now, remember one thing. 2 players of your core injured long term, 3 players in fact. KL, Shreyas, Bumrah. Okay, can't help them. Can't help it. Injuries are part and parcel of the game. Their timing, unfortunately, it's something to do with that. Whenever it comes to India, it's always last minute. It's in the psyche of the nation. So get over with it. Workload management. Couldn't you have persisted with that same core? You knew these 3 players were injured. Why did you have to experiment in the West Indies? I again go back to that. You're going to get very few ODIs. And remember, if you lose this, supposing there is a plan, if you lose this, you've got your best rest, you've got workload management all the way until September 22. And anyway, you're going to have workload management for 5 more days.
I don't think that's possible.
It can be a possible, because see, if Nepal had made 130, then we would have not even been discussing all this. But this is 230, and remember, all these kind of low scores in an ODI, they can be very, very tricky. I'll give you 2018. Afghanistan versus India, they were chasing 220, tied. 225 versus Bangladesh in the final, they got it to the last ball. So all these small in-between totals can really
But
make
again, you have
sweaty.
to be looking at the opposition as well, Siddharth. I really don't think. I think we were making too much out of it.
It may very well happen.
We're not making too much out of it. We're saying potentially if.
But I have a feeling that supposing if Nepal, see, this is the first time they're playing against India.
Yeah.
I think many people, including even us, looking at the score predictions, I think we disrespected them in a big way.
We were sloppy. We are to be blamed for that.
No.
If those 3 catches were taken, do you think they would have gotten to 220?
100%.
But they were not taken.
By the way, one of your half centurions was one of those whose catches dropped.
It's
They would have rattled and they probably wouldn't have even gone to 150.
But that is the thing. You did not take catches.
That's fine.
And Australia.
What's happened has happened. Okay, that was the fielders, let's say. But again, these batters, and these are hungry batters, by the way, they have to go. They know they've got to prove a point. They were embarrassed in front of the whole world just about a couple of days back, and they know that they need runs under their belt. What India will be looking at the moment would be a good 8-9 run victory, 8-9 wicket victory, or maybe a 10 wicket victory at the moment. That's how determined this Indian team should be at the moment.
It will happen. I mean, see, this is a total. India are the behemoths, right? You shouldn't be even worried about chasing a total of 231. You are the behemoths, right? You are the overwhelming favorites, given. But remember, nowadays, brushing aside an associate nation is not easy. It's not easy. If everybody has seen 2022 and the World Cup qualifiers, you'll all understand that even the likes of Sri Lanka had to face, they could have lost and been out of the World Cup qualification along with West Indies had they not won all their games. That was the situation. And the Minnows put up a tough fight. And remember, Namibia, the likes of Namibia, Scotland, UAE, Nepal, all of them are very, very determined at this point. You're talking about Hungary. The hunger in associate nations is much more.
Yeah, especially so because considering the fact that the way the sport is structured now, it's very unfair to the smaller nations. Extremely
Yeah,
so.
especially with the new revenue system and all of that.
Even leave aside the revenue system. The fact is, okay, I understand, Test cricket not going to be everyone's cup of tea. And if you're trying to grow the popularity of the sport, you might need to lean on white ball. You could actually, in theory, increase the number of teams that are participating in the T20 World Cup. That is your most populous form of the sport, the most populous format of the sport. You could increase it. Why did you reduce the ODI World Cup to just 10 nations? Why? It was just purely something. Anyway, none of these nations were getting to play full member nations for bilateral.
If I have to look at the comparison of India in one sport that they dominated, but now it's leading to steady downfall, but now peaking back, hockey. Look at the World Cup that happened here. 16 nations participated.
Yeah.
But India,
you're talking about the one that happened earlier.
Yeah.
In India,
nations.
16 nations. Who did they lose to?
Belgium.
A nation? No, they lost to New Zealand.
Oh, they lost to New Zealand.
In that penalty strokes.
They
lost to the Black Sticks. And remember, the Black Sticks are not one of your top tier nations when it comes to hockey.
No, it's probably their 5th or 6th sport, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, they never set the stage on fire apart from one or two, they may say, upsets that they cause.
Exactly.
It's the Kookaburras, it's Belgium, the Red Lions,
Germany,
it's the Oranje. Those are the nations. Now,
to an extent, Spain, Argentina.
Yeah, Spain, Argentina, the Pumas in particular, they do well. And that's the problem. What if Nepal, supposing they do the unthinkable, it is a great day for cricket if that happens, but
Bad day for India.
it will expose your elitist mentality. You're talking about the ICC revenue system. I'm sorry, it's not the ICC revenue system. It is the Indian revenue system. India and the BCCI are becoming, because they have the sole propriety, we generate revenue because of IPL, broadcasters are flooding through us. That arrogance one day will result in you becoming this monstrosity which everybody will want to shun, and that is where the BCCI is currently heading at this point in time. The cricketers are the manifestation of it. And let me tell you one more thing. If look at what happened prior to the match, we saw from Palakele, Nikhil was giving us updates, but which team was practicing with intent? Nepal, right? They have nothing to lose. Why should they practice? What did India do after the game against Pakistan was abandoned? No practice, no PC, workload management,
But
rest.
that optional practice thing really gets my goat.
There was no optional practice.
No, I'm saying even optional practice gets my goat.
Yeah.
What are you losing by spending hours in the nets? Are you really that worried about your fitness?
And it clearly showed in the batting. Look at it. From 104, you have come to 230. India, if you look at this bowling, I'm sorry, I think Pakistan would have won by an 8-9 run margin. 8-9 wicket margin, I'm sorry. So that is the situation. So, very big problems. Okay, all these cracks will be papered on. Because if India will win, they'll win comfortably. Their batters will do the job. Likes of Rohit, Shubman, Virat will do the job. Given. Agreed. 100%. But what if there is a plan B? You're not prepared for it. All your so-called and the rain is coming down at this point in Palakele. Look at it. Pakistan game also same when the innings break was taking place. You had the rain come down.
And you know what's worse now is that you're 100% guaranteed to lose overs, which means you're staring at a DLS revised target.
Yeah. But I think the DLS thing will help India. Because they bowled Nepal out and under the 50 over quota. So that is why I think the DLS method will help India now. So absolutely fine. Harshit, Gargi, Shane, I'm absolutely fine. There is no doubts. India's batting is very potent. They will win it. But what I highlighted here was you've got big amber signals of caution. I think the Indian team is not looking. They're just speeding through. And one day you're going to reach a dead end, and in that dead end there will be an interrogation. What happened? 30 to 45 minutes of bad cricket.
No, 30. Just 30. 45 minutes means you're getting thrashed.
You're getting thrashed. So that is the problem. And today the bowling, I'm sorry, missed the length,
Woeful.
missed the mark.
It was woeful.
Fielding was woeful.
The only bowler who comes away from this with any credit is
Ravindra
Jadeja and B. Kuldeep, because they never tried to take him on.
Yeah.
They
were
showed
very
him so
safe.
much respect.
Yeah.
They never tried to take
But
him
I
on.
think it's a double-edged sword then.
No. Why?
If any opponent tries to play Kuldeep out, he may get 10 overs for 35, no wicket, 10 overs for
That's
40.
what happened today.
I doubt that will help him. I doubt it will help Team India because Kuldeep is an attacking bowler.
No, that's fair. I'm saying full credit to Nepal, by the way. Also,
They played him
out.
well. Yeah.
Played him well. They weren't batting like mugs against him. They batted really well, which is why he was trying everything. He was changing his flight. He was putting his variations. He bowled well. I'll take nothing away from him. My point is then what happens to the other bowlers, Shami and Siraj in particular,
Siraj.
playing it all over the place.
Shami, okay.
It's Siraj, yeah, definitely.
Siraj was definitely, he had gone back
He
to the...
pulled back later, but he was not.
He was like the
looking good earlier.
2020 avatar of RCB.
2022.
2022 avatar of RCB, wherein he just conceded sixes for fun. I think he conceded the most sixes by a bowler in that season.
Yeah, I remember.
Mohammad Siraj.
2022, he was getting battered in the death also.
Yeah.
Was it him or Avesh? Even Avesh had a bad season that
No, but Avesh has had many bad seasons.
Yeah.
No, that's okay.
What are you talking about? I mean, Siraj at least has had 2-3 good seasons to balance out that
This
one
year was
bad.
really good. 2023 was excellent in the IPL. Let's not forget.
Yes, he
He's one
was.
of the premier bowlers.
Avesh, I'm sorry. Don't tell me he's the greatest pacer.
Yeah, just because he scored that vital run.
No, that was a bye, wasn't it? Or did
It
he
was
score
a bye, but he
bye.
celebrated as if he got an edge.
Yeah. And he threw the helmet down and
And
celebrated
got a
as if he's got the
What a
World Cup.
fine.
And got a fine.
Avesh, I mean, I'm sorry. I think you fast-tracked him way early into the Indian team. He shouldn't have been near there for 2 to 3 years at least. Because
He was one of those, him, Venkatesh Iyer,
Yeah.
all suffered with the same thing.
all suffered.
Both, coming at the back of one good IPL season. It happened.
Yeah.
It was good with
Venki, it was
Delhi.
half a good season. Yeah.
Yeah, half a good season. In his case, it was half.
Okay, so let's take some questions and then we'll continue discussion. Vishal Panchal from the US has asked one of the greatest questions that has been asked to mankind. Why schedule Sri Lanka at this time of the year?
Ask
Vishal,
Exactly,
BCCI.
Vishal, exactly.
I wish you had run the Asian Cricket Council to keep away politics, and because of our Indian administration, it is because of them that Indian cricket right now is in this situation in Sri Lanka.
He also follows up saying if Shardul is not going to bowl more than 4-5 overs, it's better to have Akshar, who is a better batsman than Shardul, or have batsmen who can bowl few overs. You don't have the latter. You don't have a batsman who can bowl few overs.
Yeah.
And Akshar, if you can't, the only time you're playing Akshar and Jadeja together is if it's an absolute death ball. You can't play them together.
No, you can play them together if you want to commit harakiri. That's
Okay,
it.
Imran Mubashir is saying, I'm based in New Jersey. I'm sorry, but Indian team is struggling. And I'm not saying this because I'm Pakistani. India will have to play out of their skin to make the top 4 in World Cup and to play the final of the Asia Cup.
No, I agree with you, man.
Agree, Imran, totally. I mean, you're not saying this, you don't have to say from where you are. I mean, you've told the
doesn't matter.
truth. You've told the truth, and I've been saying that India need a reality check. Now, if the
They've gotten that.
I think
I don't think they have.
multiple
No,
reality
I'm sorry,
checks.
if
You
you-
were dismissed for 118 in Vishakhapatnam just a few months
Leave
back.
that aside.
You
10
were
wickets lost
again
to
struggling.
Pakistan.
Exactly, you were again struggling the other day and didn't even complete the full
That is a
50 quota
mirage.
overs. Then again, the mirage was possibly the fact that your lower order saved you the other day.
The only Miraz is Mehdi Hasan Miraz in Bangladesh.
Who also he's made to open and then scoring a century over there.
By the way, I mean, it's nothing surprising that Mehdi Hassan's opening. Because
He's done that in the past, yeah.
in the 2016 Under-19 World Cup, I checked his numbers. He averaged 60 with the bat. And that is why he is a very good situation.
So even
That is-
Bangladesh, let's say, have a Moeen Ali in them.
it
Who they
doesn't.
can
Listen, India's getting reality check, it doesn't matter. Why? Because everybody's focus is on the IPL. Simple. All these kind of things, it's a mirage. It doesn't matter. IPL is the king. We all will focus on that for 3 to 4 months. That's it. Rest of the international cricket is nothing. That's how the Indian cricket team mentality is at this point in time.
No, I mean, to be fair, one IPL game nets you 118 crores. in
Yeah.
broadcast revenue. An international game nets you 67 crores. What are you going to focus on?
Of course, it's like how I think was this dialogue made in Jerry Maguire? Show me the money. Yeah, when Jim Carrey of Jerry Maguire said, "Show me the money," that's what it is, folks. Okay, Sarit Monti, I can't take that.
I mean, you can say that. Let's say Gambhir's misbehavior.
Misbehavior.
I mean,
but why did he
no,
misbehave?
please don't show that. We'll get banned.
Yes,
We've
please.
had that happening enough.
Yeah.
Please don't fire that. So, I mean, to be fair, I don't think it's something that he should have done.
But why did he do it? I mean, I'm
Yeah,
not
they
aware
were
of this
chanting
story.
Kohli, Kohli, it is.
That's what. See,
But just ignore it.
can't.
No, you can.
I don't know how.
You can see he's having to face so much of it. It happened in the IPL as well. I remember very well. Couple of stadiums that he was traveling to. Again, this happened.
It happened with Naveen also, remember?
Exactly, it happened with Naveen also, and it won't happen to Virat, by the way, given the fan following and everything that he's done for Indian cricket.
These are Viratians doing it.
These are Viratian. See, it's.
But hold on. How many Indian fans are there in Palakkale today?
You never know. You never know. You
Also,
never know what's
but-
happening. We don't know the context here.
Yeah,
we really don't know the
Yeah.
context here, but
I think there is a video going around as
it
well.
is easy to put it on Gambhir, by the way.
No,
and
I'm
it's
not-
only
I'm not
human for a
denying-
reaction to come at some
of course.
point. He's an elected representative, by the way.
Which
of the-
means we should be even more careful.
he should be careful.
Yes.
But having said that, he is.
Maybe from like your.
He is.
Yeah.
He is. But having said that,
He's Delhi.
the fans have got to respect for what
Of
he's
course,
done,
of course,
for
I
the
agree.
expert that he is, and really give him. Give
Who
the
did
man-
you say? Who did you say that should respect Gambhir?
The fans.
The Indian fans.
Yeah. What wrong has he
The
done?
biggest cancer that is there in this current system is the Indian cricket fans' mentality at this point in
It was
time.
nice knowing you guys.
It was nice. I'll tell you why. Who takes the name of a great player to taunt another great player? And this is used for taunting, by the way.
Yeah.
No,
You
so right now
are,
It's not even IPL season.
and you're sullying both people's name. You're sullying them, and I'm sorry, the Indian cricket fan in this case is shameful because you're using a player who doesn't have anything to do with this, and you're sullying his name and reputation every single time for your pettiness.
Yeah.
But I still think I agree.
And I'm showing this mirror to the Indian cricket fan
have happened.
because you are the most toxic fan base that is there in this point
You know, at times we expect
Yeah,
a
better
lot.
behavior.
We expect, and it's easy, let's say, for us to say about morality of what should be expected and what's the right behavior in
I'm
a
not
public space for a
justifying the
public
behavior
figure
at all.
Exactly. I don't just want to justify his behavior either, but at the same time, one, he's human too. Two, he doesn't deserve this.
And when someone pushes you, to your limit this much, I think it's bound to happen. And it's not just one person, right? These are crowds.
It's a whole bunch of fans.
It's a whole bunch of fans, and that is why the Indian cricket fan, if he becomes like the British fan in all kind of sport, I'm sorry, you have gone to the lowest of the low.
I think you're becoming worse. At least they don't taunt their own players.
They don't taunt their own players, taking another player's name.
Yeah.
Maybe it might happen in the Premier League.
No, but see, football's a different sport.
Yeah.
In football, club culture has been prevalent over national culture forever. It's
Yeah.
just a thing.
is.
We can't compare it to cricket, and we have a couple more supers. We'll
So
just take those.
Satish Swaminathan saying, isn't India's fielding a worry more than batting or bowling? Do they need jaunty roads to train these folks in next generation?
Good question. Very
Satish,
good one. Hit the nail on the head, my friend.
India's batting, bowling and fielding are all problematic at this time.
And Prithvi Patnaik, our friend, is back.
Data analyst Baman.
He's saying this is the result of playing a part-time bowler like Shardul. You'd concede 100 extra runs. Team management have to give this logic a batsman number and go with Shami Siraj and Bumrah.
I'm
But
not sure if the
today Shardul wasn't at fault.
Exactly, he got you the first wicket. Yeah,
Exactly.
You
Yeah,
were
but-
wicket-less going
okay.
into the 10th over. He got you the first wicket, and it can't entirely be put on Shardul.
And also today, who would you play then? Prasid, because Bumrah wasn't available.
Yep. But yaar, with Shardul, he's like a roller coaster here. I can't make head or tail of whatever it is because he concedes runs, but he takes you wickets. I mean, I think 3 for 61. I think I'll take that.
Yeah, I will take it too. That's the thing. The thing with him is that economy is always
He
going
can
to
be
be
a
a problem.
touch expensive,
But
you know
he'll
that.
get you wickets. And especially so today, he was asked to come on early because your frontline bowlers were struggling.
Yeah.
And in his first over, gets you a wicket.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that too,
Shami Siraj was spraying it all over the place.
that too when you were going at over 6 runs and over.
Exactly.
So that is the thing.
And see, the Shardul experience was what? In his first over, he went for 12 runs, but got you a wicket.
Yeah, so Akash Bharda saying this is this we have seen for Messi, Ronaldo fans also. I'm saying.
But Messi, Ronaldo fans, yeah, Messi is Argentine,
countries.
Ronaldo is Portuguese.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. You will not see this crop up between, say, Messi fans and the Guerrero fans.
Guerrero fans,
Or
yeah.
Ronaldo fans and, I don't know, Bernardo
Pepe.
Silva fans.
Pepe.
Pepe is, no one likes him, it's okay.
No one likes him. Okay.
Not even Real Madrid fans like the guy, so it's fine. There's no. If you're talking about legendary, say, you had Figo and Ronaldo play in the same team.
Yeah.
You won't see Figo fans criticizing Ronaldo fans or vice versa.
Yeah.
That's not how it works.
Or if you want to talk about the great Brazilian teams in the past, there have been so many superstars playing at the same
It's not
time.
like Ronaldinho fans will be criticizing Ronaldo.
Ronaldo fans,
Yeah.
exactly.
Not how it works.
Ronaldo Gaucho, right? That was his.
So that's Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho was Ronaldo Gaucho.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Inho is Brazilian for Junior.
Junior.
So that means his dad was also named Ronaldo.
Ronaldo. Wow. But what a team that was, man.
No, but that's the thing. You'll not see that happen. This
Yeah,
is a
you
very
won't, yeah.
Uniquely Indian phenomenon where you'll have Viratians, Rohitians,
And boss,
Indians.
Gautam Gambhir won you the 2007 and 2011 World Cup. At least give him that respect, yeah.
And won KKR 2 titles.
And won
Yeah,
two titles for an IPL. He's done whatever he needs to in white ball cricket.
Exactly.
Virat Kohli was part of the 2011 World Cup winning
What
side.
am I seeing?
And
no.
is it
Going down
or
Going
high?
down.
Maybe it's high.
One or the other.
Umpires did say it was a bit high.
They
so-
looked. I don't know about high.
Oh,
All
but,
right, they've
No,
reviewed it.
they know. They
They
have a big
will,
wicket.
yeah.
but was it coming back in?
It was slipping
it
back
was.
in. That's why.
It was.
I told,
Rohit.
I told you.
Of
With
course
Rohit.
it was.
Good ball. I must say good
Oh,
ball.
it was a very nice ball.
Karan gets some good movement with the new ball, Karan Casey. So that's why he and Rajbanshi will be a kind of, they'll be a handful for the first 5 to 7 overs at least.
It's very sad that we are.
Discussing this?
Yeah, we have to, because he's upright.
wobbly seam.
Yeah, wait.
Could be umpire's call.
Umpire's call. That's
Good
gross.
ball.
That's a very good ball.
But again, came back in and Rohit,
And Rohit
same
again,
problem.
Same problem.
Again, you can see both the sums very clearly and still going out. Perhaps, in fact,
Might be umpire's call. Umpires.
Yeah.
But because actually this is very close because if it had to be given out, then Rohit was a corner. Let's see.
Or maybe, but I think the height isn't that
All
much of a
right.
thing. Yeah.
Now we'll know.
Moment of truth.
No, it swung a lot. He'll miss.
It's
Missing. Yeah. Review lost.
Good
See,
ball.
that's what I said. But it's not height. See, height wouldn't have been a problem.
Yeah.
It would have hit.
Missing.
Good ball. Good ball.
Oh, that was
Very good
close.
ball.
That was close.
Man, Rohit.
Vikram Ekanaike, I didn't enjoy Indians' body language. See how they celebrated wickets so overconfident. I don't know about that. I think they were much more relieved.
No, earlier on they were
Yeah.
very. Correct me if I'm wrong. Vikram Ekanaike, I think, would be a Sri Lankan.
He is a Sri Lankan living in New Zealand.
Ah, nice. Best of both worlds.
No, but then didn't you see? He sent a super chat New Zealand dollars.
Yeah, I know.
Without anything, of course. So
Yeah.
let's see now how it. Oh!
I think he's out.
I think no. It's again
They'll
going
not
down.
review it.
It's going down.
This time they'll not review it.
Yep, they won't. They won't.
But that's 2 balls now he's been beaten, which are in swingers. Rohit, yeah. Come on.
And remember, Karan bowls in the same pace as Angelo Matthews.
Someone who has troubled Rohit in the past.
Man, 2012 was a nightmare for Rohit Sharma because same wobbly seam coming back in. Oh,
This was definitely going down.
This was definitely it pitched on the leg side as well, on the on that particular line, the leg stump line.
Yep, so that is the thing. And Akash Varaj, finally you see the light and you agree. So let's see now. Shall we see these 2 balls? or call it
2 more
quits?
balls. 2 more balls is okay.
This is going away. No, there was no edge.
No, he's very excited. I don't blame
Yeah,
him.
I know.
But dear
Adrenaline.
God. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
don't.
No,
if
please
they,
don't review it. Please don't review
If they
it.
So-
burn this review, that's gone.
So an
No,
update.
no.
Yeah.
He swung late.
So an update for you guys, since you guys did mention about that Gautam Gambhir incident, some updates that we're getting at the moment. It is, as it turns out, that some fans from Pakistan, it turns out, were shouting anti-India slogans and were also passing comments on one of the territories which is frequently talked about when it comes to the 2 nations. So it is with regards to that, and it doesn't have to do with Viratians being there on the ground. So again, not what you expect, and you were talking about politics not being mixed with sport. Again, the culprit being the fans out there. So just a bit of an update for you guys. But now that the action's begun,
Let's just figure out this ball,
seen
then
the
we call
first
it.
over, the last of it coming up.
Ah.
Just the 1 run for India.
For a wide, courtesy
And
of
for a
wide.
wide.
That
by the
was
way.
also over, but otherwise a very good start from Nepal. Remember, India chasing 231. None of us thought at the start of play that this would be a target India would eventually be chasing. But Let's just see now how long it is. Maybe we can do predictions for that as to how long India will take. How many overs perhaps?
45.
40.
45.
40, 45.
Yeah.
42.
I'll say 38.
Okay.
Alright. We'll see you guys unless, of course, there is a rain interruption. We see you earlier than that.
Yep.
But yeah, at the end of the match, definitely catching you guys. Do join us once again. Nikhil also will be joining us from the ground. And lots happening as far as where the tournament goes. Hamban Tota also now turning out to be one of the venues where the tournament could now be taken, because you're seeing a lot of rain in Palakele as well. So stay tuned, lots happening in the Asia Cup. Remember, tomorrow is the World Cup squad announcement as well. So lots to look forward to. But until then, give us some time and we'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.